Richard Tice, a witness to all of this when it first went down. He joined us on the phone. Richard, what can you tell us?
Good evening, Neil. So I was coming out of the metro station at Westminster probably 2 or 3 minutes after the incident when police were suddenly sort of moving people away from where the SUV crashed. I was moved, along with the rest of the public, actually onto the bridge itself, where, as I looked across the pavement, I just saw a scene of carnage, bodies littering the pavement at the northern end of the bridge. And then as I looked down the bridge, I just saw more and more people lying on the ground, being attended to by passers-by because, the ambulance services hadn't yet arrived. They were sort of arriving at that moment. And you just have a complete sense of shock and bewilderment because you can't imagine what had happened. And then very quickly, special forces arrived and there's police everywhere with machine guns. But shocking in any city, and indeed that was the shocking scene that we saw in London this afternoon.
I can imagine there was confusion. I mean, we've seen, sadly, this sort of thing before where someone takes a vehicle and plows into a crowd. Certainly we saw it in Nice. We saw it in Berlin. What were you thinking when you saw this? Did you know immediately, all right, this isn't an accident here. This is a deliberate, attempt to kill people?
Yeah, it was clear just by looking at the number of people lying on the ground that it wasn't an accident. It didn't immediately register, and perhaps it probably should have done, but it was a vehicle. Someone told me that they'd seen a vehicle mount the pavement and just mow people down all the way the whole length of the bridge, and it's a big long bridge. But I think just sort of there was no sense of panic, just confusion and bewilderment. Interestingly, it never occurred to me that there might be a follow-on attack, and I think you sort of, when you stand back and look at these incidents, you sort of have to think about, what is this and what might happen next. I don't think anybody had that sense in their mind.
Where are you now, Richard, and how are you doing now?
I'm doing fine, thanks. I mean, I'm just in someone's apartment, just essentially just sort of de-stressing the whole event.
Sure.
I mean, tragically, life goes on, and I think that's probably the best way of dealing with it. I think the other big lesson from this is that I've learned is, frankly, everybody should get first aid trained, because there are moments like that when, there were other passers-by who were helping, but if you've got first aid training, then you've got the confidence to go in and help before the medics arrive.
Richard, is much of the city, or at least the immediate area around the bridge and maybe extended to Parliament, in lockdown?
Yeah, it's been in lockdown ever since, and they've been widening the area. I mean, people were trapped in the Parliament building for 6 or 7 hours. They've only just been released, as I understand, for a host of reasons. And I think for some time it was unclear whether or not this was a sole assailant or whether it was part of a wider attack or group of attackers.
Richard, you've been very patient. I'm curious. We're told that there were reports of more chatter hinting or telegraphing a possible attack or something that authorities were getting. Were Britons notified of that, or was there any new warnings issued of late? This isolated? What are you hearing?
Nothing that I was aware of, to be honest. I mean, central London, I think, like most big capital cities, is on a permanent state of alert.
Right.
And frankly, you just get used to it. I mean, what's shocking is that, almost all of the police around Westminster, I'm down there quite a lot, most of them have got some form of, body armour. Many of them are armed. And it just shows how difficult it is to stop a determined assailant, And these are people that are on the lookout, they're alert, and yet still, tragically, one individual can overcome and sadly kill a police officer.
You're quite right. Richard, I'm glad you're well. I know this is going to be a tough 24 hours, to put it mildly, but be well, my friend. Richard Tice, an eyewitness on the scene, caught all of this. And again, a city shaken.